No one has ever really tried to adapt an RPG campaign into an animated series. So we're actually breaking new ground.
They created something that we didn't know the world needed.
Really, there's something there for everyone.
Even if you are steeped in this world, there's still a couple of moments I think we can surprise you.
All the stuff coming out is just so freaking cool. So the story of Vox Machina takes place on Taldore, which is a continent in the world of Exandria. It is an area of smaller nations, but there is an overall sovereign, Uriel, who is kind of the leader of the area. Vox Machina are a bunch of, I can't say heroes really, but they are people that are trying to get by. And they found that it's easier to survive and succeed as a group than independently. And so out of necessity, they became a party. The series begins with a new story. This is a telling of Vox Machina as they come into their own as a group.
It's a fantasy series, it's mature, it is fun, it is about camaraderie, it is about friendship. We are going to explore all of these amazing fantasy elements that people shied away from. We embrace that, we love that stuff.
It's a completely unique thing in terms of high fantasy. There's been no high fantasy that's even remotely similar to The Legend of Vox Machina.
I think people will be able to look at this and be like, oh, this is a show with dragons and demons and like everything in between, but ultimately it's about this group of friends.
We wanted to capture kind of the spark and the magic of when we were playing at the table, just in a different form of media.
I'm just really excited to see the really heartfelt, touching scenes. That's what got me into the stream in the first place.
This is something that is very serious and dramatic, but has moments of intense and beautiful levity and lightheartedness. And that comes from literally, this was a group of friends having fun. And we as the writer's room should also be a group of friends having fun. And that was the moment I was like, we got this.
Well, the writer's room was just a blast, you know, getting to work with all these amazingly talented writers who were all big fans of fantasy and, you know, RPGs.
God, the writers were all amazing, and they all brought different things to the table.
We had a mix of seasoned and new. There's young, excited energy, and then wise, laid-back energy a little bit.
There was sort of the who's who of what sort of action animation we've done have been some of the top-tier people. Some really great new voices that had come from science fiction and from live action. It's really been a nice mix.
We've never worked with Brandon before, so this is the first time me and him were able to collaborate on something. But he was just a great idea guy, as well as being the person who's guiding the production side.
Eugene Son, our story editor, he's been incredibly helpful along the way, really implementing all of our notes, coming in and having all kinds of great ideas.
Jen Muro knows so much about Critical Role. She's been a fan for a while, and she could recall a lot of the things, the adventures and such that the characters have gone through. Mae Catt is so much energy and so many ideas. She was fantastic in the writer's room that way. Kevin and Doc are an amazing writing team that I've gotten the pleasure to work with over the years. Their dynamic as a writing team is fantastic. I'd never worked with Marc before, but he brings a wealth of experience in comics and live-action TV.
We also worked with Daniel Thomsen, who came from the live-action world and brought a whole different kind of storytelling to the room.
Ashley Burch, I had never worked with before until Vox Machina, but she's fantastic.
Beyond just being a talented writer, she's actually played with us. She played Keg in our second campaign for a number of episodes, as well as a live show. And so I think bringing that to the table made her even that much more of a powerhouse.
Everybody was, you know, soup to nuts, like really, really nice and really, really smart.
I love when the writer's room is everyone throwing out ideas and everyone's kind of building on each other, and it's kind of from all different facets, just kind of brick after brick. You can see the wall coming to fruition.
It's fascinating adapting The Legend of Vox Machina from a role-playing game campaign and trying to translate that and bring that to life in an animated series.
An adaptation need not be beat for beat. And so our job as the writers was to maintain the spirit of the story and the spirit of each character and the character arcs and what they're going through, and act as the translators from what it was into what it can be now in the animated form.
There's going to be surprises. There's going to be things that are changed. But also at the same time, we want to do that because we want the diehard fans to not just come in and know everything. Like, you want to be surprised. You want things to change just enough.
To find a way to get to a place in the story where you're giving the audience the thing they didn't know that they wanted, but they actually needed.
When you're dealing with a pre-existing property, like a graphic novel, you can say, okay, we have to keep this moment. This is a pivotal moment. Maybe we can lose this. Maybe we can plus this. When you're going with a campaign where it's hundreds of hours of material, and a lot of it is brilliant. It's like, okay, now what are the things that will translate really well to anime series? What have they not seen that we think, wow, okay, we can take this and we can really do something fantastic with it? And those are the things that really, really excite us.
Whittling down source material was an undertaking that I was terrified about because Matt has such a clear vision, and I definitely didn't want to step on that.
Certain ideas have to be changed or altered as part of the adaptation. It's a hard process.
There's things we were like, oh my God, he'll kill us. And then he was like, no, that's fine. We're like, we were worrying for 3 days about this.
Matt would always sit down and say, yeah, no, this is the way it was in the campaign, but if this is better, let's talk about it. Let's litigate it. Let's investigate it. Let's rattle test it.
Sometimes the harder ideas, the ones that go against what you initially expected, make the most important changes.
Every project I've ever taken on, research is a huge part of it. You want to dive and get in that mindset and that mentality of the world you're exploring.
Critical Role is an IP and is a legacy IP, but it's happening right now. You can interface with the creators of this thing that you love immediately.
Everyone, for the most part, were able to make it for an element of the writer's room to answer questions about their particular character, how they would react to certain elements, questions that I couldn't have answered anywhere near as good as they could have.
The fact that the cast created their own characters and that Matt, as the game master, created the scenarios, and then you're in the writer's room with those people, with that cast, you get to feed off that immediacy. It's like writing a Spider-Man script in the room with Stan Lee.
It's working very hard to honor the original canon and the original content and the original game.
Nothing is getting past these guys. We're making sure that this is very much the show that they want to make.
It's been really cool to watch it all come together, and as each thing gets approved and we see every facet of it begin to come more and more realized, you can just feel the palpable energy of excitement, not just within us, but the animation studio and everyone who's working on the actual production side. It's already turning into something very, very special.
We are as excited as any fan of Critical Role to see how these things turn out. There's nothing better than if you love a property and you're seeing it expanded to a new world. It just takes it in a way you never even could envision as a fan.
We wanted to capture kind of the spark and the magic of when we were playing at the table, just in a different form of media.
It will be like drinking a drink that you really like by a bartender you've never met before, who adds a little something and you can't quite put your finger on what it is. It's like, did you put nutmeg in this? I'm I'm not sure, but I love this drink. Oh, it's delicious. Give me more of this drink because I like being drunk. If you like being drunk on Critical Role, then I think you'll like what this series of bartenders have done to it.